Okay, I think we're live here. Alright, welcome everyone to the Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament 2021. This is Swiss Round 3 with Idlechild versus Putzku racing today. We have 00713 on tracking, and I hope I pronounced this right, Mujik75 on the restream. Mujik, thank you. Looks like we're about to get started here. Putzku's stream looks a bit blurry. I don't know if it's scaling or... Well, either way. Race is about to begin. Putzku is on widescreen. Ah, okay. Yeah, it looks like they're off. Yeah, let's wish both our runners good luck. And the tracker's reset. Okay, here we go. They will be both going through criteria as we always start, heading down to collect the first item, which will be Morph Ball at the Morph Pedestal. Looks like Idlechild is getting a Moonfall. Yep, there we go. Putzku may not have Moonwalk on to perform that trick. That is a good way of getting down the climb shaft and several other rooms very quickly, but not everyone does it. That's okay, Zero. I'll try and point out anything you miss on the tracking if you do. And Idlechild is picking up his Morph Ball. And Putzku following quickly behind. And we have an Ice Beam as our first item. That is interesting. That will certainly allow them to get the item in the next room over in the ceiling, whether or not they can do the deboost trick to get it. Ice Beam is a good way to get it early. And it's a charge beam! Oh my goodness. This is gonna be a quick seed. With Ice Beam and Charge Beam right off the bat, we have plenty of firepower for the early game and for most of the game, really. Idlechild decides to use the D-boost trick to get the charge beam anyway, despite having the ice beam. It is faster if you can pull it off. Putzku goes for using ice beam. And we won't be seeing Billy Mays checks just yet, since we don't have Morph Ball, or sorry, Power Bombs. No meme route available either. Early supers are always good to see. Next major question will be when we see the Power Bombs. That opens up most of the rest of the game. As soon as we get that. Likely our runners will next be checking the bomb location. In all likelihood. They do have access to a couple other things. That is almost certainly where we'll see them go next. At the top of the climb here. This will almost certainly be power bombs, since the logic does not require them to know the trick to escape Alcatraz without them. And indeed, it is power bombs. Idlechild getting them first. And because of the way the game works, the boss there will only activate if you have bombs. Bombs is what is usually there in the vanilla game. Idlechild here is going for the and gets it. Gets the Alcatraz escape very quickly. It's not necessary. You could just power bomb and go out the right, but showing off a little bit here. And it looks like Idlechild is going to check 230 missiles with his newly acquired power bombs. And we have an energy tank. Always good to have some energy early, just for safety. And Putzku is taking the easier way out, which is certainly faster than the Alcatraz escape if you don't get the Alcatraz escape first or second or try or so. But Idlechild is plenty fast. Putzku not checking 230 missiles, so will not have that nice energy tank buffer, but isn't missing anything major there. We have another pack of power bombs and Terminator. Putzku is not checking the back of Gauntlet to peek and see what items are back there, and Idlechild is not either. Be interesting to see if they decide to go up Red Tower and come check on the Gauntlet items sooner rather than later, or perhaps they'll get other items that push them down Red Tower and we might not see it for a while, in which case they might be sad to have not checked that. Could always be something good back there. Here we have Putzku entering the... oh, just misses it. Idlechild entering the room where you typically see the first mock ball, and he gets it first try. There's a reserve tank. 2 reserve tanks back here. The Seed trolling them a little bit after such a generous start. And yet another powerbomb pack. Looks like Putzku's got it on this try. Oh no! I wonder if Putzku's not holding the jump button or something through the door. It's not getting enough jump height for this mock ball. And That time hit the ceiling before the door transition. And the last item in this room was a missile pack. So nothing monumental here. But it looks like idlechild is going down to check the Edicune area next. Another super missile pack, that's nice to see. And an X-ray beam, which idlechild rejects. Yeah, Zero, I'm not sure. It looks like the Putzku must be releasing the jump button too early or something, because not all of those attempts have been hitting the ceiling through the door transition. A lot of them looks like Putzku has it, but still doesn't get the jump height, so I'm assuming they're letting go of the jump button. Unfortunately, this is costing Putzku quite a bit of time, and idlechild's getting a decent head start here. They could just bail on it right now and give up on the trick, and I mean, they don't know it obviously, but there's nothing back there that they desperately need. More missiles and Edicunes for idlechild. Putzku is going for a harder version of this mock ball inside the room. It switches. Oh, it eventually gives up on it. Okay. That's okay, Putzku. You don't need any of those items. Putzku will be checking Edicunes next as well. Idlechild making his way over to Big Pink, where there are lots of checks over here that can be made. Putzku does decide to pick up the X-ray scope that idlechild left behind. Unlikely that it will be needed, but there are a few tricks that it could help with. It's just not tricks you often see in SMRAT seeds. And idlechild gets the super missile trick to get the back door to Spore Spawn's item here. Putzku is making their way towards the Edicune item. Idlechild taking a quick refill off these zips here. Ooh, Putzku needs to be careful. Their energy is getting pretty low in these spikes. Ooh, I think one more hit will do them in. Okay, got some health. Ooh, took another hit. Ooh, that was close. Okay, Putzku made it through. Alright, good job. I didn't see what the Spore Spawn item was. Guessing another ammo pack. And idlechild here is going for the Wavegate glitch trick. Oh, it gets it on the first try. Very nice. And it's an E-tank. Another good to have, the first several anyway. Idlechild looks like they're going back up to try the mock ball again. And, sorry, Putzku, did I say Idlechild? Idlechild gets another E-tank in Big Pink. And is going into the Mission Impossible room to check the item here. Oh, Putzku had the setup for the mock ball this time, but didn't quite get it. Getting closer. You'll have it any time now. Idlechild finds another E-tank. They're just littering the place right here in the seed. Power bombs in Big Pink here. And a missile pack. And we can't check waterway yet, so Idlechild will move on. It will require speed booster in order to do that. Putzku's still having a rough time with this mock ball. Unfortunately, it's putting them quite a ways behind Idlechild. Idlechild's checking the, what do you call it? The SMRAT item here. Probably just seeing they're nearly out of supers, so he probably doesn't want to deal with those side hoppers with his current loadout. And finds a spring ball hidden in the pipe. That's nice. That's a good item to have. Not essential, but there are plenty of cool tricks you can do with it. Idlechild coming up on the big divergence point here. Will he go up or down? He chooses down, Red Tower. Yeah, I don't blame him at all. It's pretty difficult to do any of the many tricks that get you across moat early with his current loadout. Could be done with a spring ball bounce, but it's not an easy trick to pull off, and certainly not everyone knows it. So down is the easier choice with this layout, or this loadout. Although without Varia suit, it's difficult to go very far into Norfair, but Idlechild can certainly pick off Kraid and see where Kraid's hiding. And Putzku's making their way through Big Pink now. Finally giving up on that mock ball. Putzku unfortunately did not get the Spore Spawn backdoor trick there and abandoned it before running out of super missiles. Idlechild picking up another super missile pack near Kraid. Putzku going into Mission Impossible. This is probably what they saved the super missile for. It's needed to break this block on the floor here. And picks up an E-tank. Definitely a welcome sight for Putzku, I'm sure. And idlechild is about to take another crane. Using a setup for the crane quick kill by the look of it. 2 missiles and 3 supers, is that right? Oh no, it was a 4 super method, I believe, but I've never seen it done that way. That was a very interesting setup. And idlechild is rewarded with the Spazer Beam. Seems like a pretty effective way to get the quick kill to me. Putzku is deciding to go into and look at the meme route item that idlechild decided against. Oh wow, idlechild finds screw attack in the warehouse. Putzku only finds a power bomb, unfortunately. Putzku could go and check the Billy Mays items at this point, but decides against it. Good. Gets his spring ball. And idlechild is making his way back down into Norfair, checking the high jump area, and gets bombs. Bombs are nice to have, although having 20 power bombs already, it's far less crucial than it might otherwise be. But this does let him bomb jump and get up to areas where you would need an infinite bomb jump to access, like, say, the Criteria power bomb area, or it is a way through worst room in the game as well. Oh, that's true. With screw attack and bombs, that does allow idlechild to logically access Gauntlet as well. The items up there, there are 3 that we haven't seen any of, and they are in logic, so that could very well be a suit at this point. And idlechild immediately exits Norfair with that item set. Though ice is checkable, but it's a hell run to do so. Having to go through some heated areas without any heat protection is certainly rough. So exiting is probably a pretty good call right there, particularly since the logic does not require you to do it. Yes, the item in the middle of moat could also be a suit. I would say that Gauntlet is probably the best odds at this point. But Criteria power bombs could also have it. Any of the 3 red tower items at the alpha and beta power bombs. What else? That might be it. I don't think logic will require you to check anything in Meridia without gravity suit. Oh right, Billy Mays. Billy Mays could also have a suit. And that appears to be where idlechild is going. Yes, Bagel Thief. Putzku checked left of Morph Ball. I believe it was just a power bomb. Billy Mays is not in logic, Zero says? Oh, does that require, oh, probably space jump. Oh, yeah, for the water portion. Right. So gravity suit would open up Billy Mays, so would space jump. There could still be a suit here because space jump might be at any of the other previously mentioned locations, which would then put Billy Mays in logic, which could then be a suit. Which means it could also be gravity. If we see gravity here, that means space jump is one of the other few items that are still left in logic. But otherwise, this isn't necessarily in logic yet. Putzku got their bombs from the high jump area. And looks like they're going to take a save before either leaving Norfair or possibly doing a hell run. Well, probably not with only 2 E-tanks. Idlechild sees a super missile at Billy Mays. Wait, there's more. The second item is a power bomb. Nothing exciting. Zero in the chat says Putzku doesn't seem to know the Varia tweaks. It is possible that I don't either. Do you, could you explain what you mean, please? Shot blocks and mock ball, mission impossible, high jump. Oh, the soft lock prevention changes. Oh yes, the old Mother Brain location is also in logic that Idlechild is checking just now. I forgot about that one. Unfortunately, just a super pack. Putzku is on their way to Kraid. We'll be getting their Spacer Beam shortly after. No one has checked Gauntlet yet. Looks like Idlechild will probably be doing that shortly. They did not check the back, they both skipped that. Putzku does not get the quick kill, and Kraid is standing up, but goes down very quickly anyway. Idlechild is checking criteria power bombs before Gauntlet. Needs to do the infinite bomb jump trick here, which is he is demonstrating very nicely. This is one of the few tricks that the logic for the SMRAT seeds actually requires you to know how to do. this and wall. Hello? Oh, my headphones turned off for some reason. Okay. I don't know how long I haven't been heard, but idlechild was working on an infinite bomb jump to go check criteria power bombs, but gave up on that and went and checked moat where there was only a missile pack. And is now going down red tower to make the few checks that are over here at alpha and beta power bomb locations. A vanilla power bomb pack, the first location he checks. Putzku is going back into Norfair. Wonder what they're going to check next. Idlechild screw attacking through those boyons to avoid damage, very nice. And gets a super missile as a reward. Ah, I see, Putzku is refilling for a hell run to check the ice beam item. Idlechild only finds a missile. We're getting very low on locations that a suit could be at. Or some further progression. Which might... oh, actually I suppose grapple beam could be progression at this point as well. Space jump. Or a suit. Is that all? That might be it. Can you hear me now? I don't think my mic is muted. Okay. Hopefully that's working again. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I had some glitch with my headset here for a minute. Okay, Idlechild is going back and doing the infinite bomb jump again to check the criteria power bomb locations. There are very few locations left where progression could be. Either this or gauntlets. And that might be it. I think we've seen everything else. Putzku is making their way back up Red Tower. Depending on the order... Oh, speed, that's a good point, Zero. Speed could open a waterway check, and progression could be a waterway. Just a missile pack, add criteria, power bombs. Depending on the order Putzku checks items, they might be able to catch up reasonably quickly here, if they happen to go gauntlet first, and that's where progression is. Oh yes, Speed Booster would also open up Bubble Mountain, that's a good point. without high jump boots, the wall jump that idlechild was just attempting is quite a tight and difficult one. So he's choosing to do an infinite bomb jump instead, and I would definitely do the same thing. I find that to be a lot easier. Putzku's checking alpha power bombs, using the ice beam to get past the Boyons, while idlechild makes his way into the gauntlet. And the first gauntlet item is just a super missile, which means that in all likelihood, one of the back two items that they could have taken a peek at earlier is going to be our progression. Having exhaustively checked everything else, I'm sure idlechild is kicking himself for not having checked the back of the gauntlet earlier. Then he would have known to come straight here. Putzku, meanwhile, is making the same series of disappointing checks that idlechild did a while ago, and idlechild finds gravity suit at the back of gauntlet. Very nice. That will allow him to get into either Meridia for several checks or wrecked ship. I'm guessing he's going to go to wrecked ship next since that is closer. With the gravity suit canceling out the water at the moat, it would be, if they had high jump, then it would be a simple wall jump up to the wreck ship entrance, but since they don't have high jump, I believe they'll need to do an infinite bomb jump up to the wreck ship entrance. Oh wait, no, bomb jumps still don't work underwater even with gravity suit. Is it? Maybe there is a wall jump that gets you up there, I forget. I'm pretty sure that's enough. Yeah, there are other tricks available here, and it would be amazing to see them pulled off when you have easier methods. Looks like idlechild did make one attempt at the CWJ trick. That is the continuous wall jump, which is a very hard trick to pull off in the mode here, where you can run and jump from the left side of the screen and just catch the corner of the pedestal in the center. Oh yes, and of course bombs do work underwater when you have gravity suit. I don't know what I was thinking there. So it will be an infinite bomb jump to get to the top. But yes, if you do get the setup just right, you can do a wall jump off the far side of the pedestal in the center of the moat room and make it across with no items at all. And it's a very hard trick to pull off. idlechild made one attempt at it, which is great, but certainly the bomb jump is easier and would be the recommended way to do it in this scenario if you didn't get it in one try for the CWJ. Putzku looks like they're going down to check the Old Mother Brain item, or possibly Billy Mays, but Billy Mays is not strictly in logic yet. And yes, spooky missiles. Disappointing. Just a trash tank. idlechild is just about to his Fantoon fight. And Putzku is headed toward the left of Morph Ball item and probably checking the answer. Fantoon being uncooperative and giving idlechild a slow pattern on the first round here. And a slow pattern on the second round as well. Putzku, where are you going? Skip Wavegate the first time through? Must have. Guess Putzku is double checking a number of checks that they missed the first time through, which makes sense, but unfortunately items they're looking for are not here. Just about done with this Fantoon fight. Ghost is looking fairly red. And there we go. Idlechild finishes off Fantoon. Oh, that's right. Putzku also did not get the force spawn check on the first pass through Big Pink. They got themselves down to one super missile and then decided to use it, checking Mission Impossible instead. Got quite a few more attempts at it this time. And it looks like... oh, nope, missed it still. It's a finicky one. You have to be on one of several correct pixels when you fire it. That looks like you got it. They got it. And Idlechild finds an E-tank at the wreck ship right side item here. I think this was the ammo only where Putzku is going. Yeah, just a missile pack. That's a good point. Gus NV points out that Putzku might not feel comfortable with the IBJs needed to check the remaining criteria items and is banking on having missed progression earlier instead. Unfortunately, that is not the case. They're going to need to go do those IBJs eventually. IBJ being the infinite bond jump, of course. Idlechild is going through the spiky room of death. Oh, and does a very bold D-boost through. That's a nice trick to do. It's a very deadly room if you don't have suit and plenty of E-tanks. Those spikes do a lot of damage, but Idlechild is well equipped for it. Looks like Putzku's stream just froze. That's not good. And Idlechild finds Speed Booster in the wreck ship reserve room. Very nice. So I wonder if that will be enough to make Idlechild skip the rest of the wreck ship, since it's a lot of long and arduous checks, and hope that that wreck ship does not have the Varia suit, as it could certainly be in Meridia. This is enough to check all of Meridia, I believe. Or if Idlechild will decide to full clear the rest of wreck ship in case Varia is here. Idlechild probably is not aware that they're quite a ways ahead of Putzku at this point. Might be feeling the time pressure. Nope, Idlechild does look like they're going to clear Attic and the rest of wreck ship. Putzku's stream came back momentarily. Looks like they were trying to do the mock ball room again. The stream is frozen again. Idlechild has cleared Attic and is checking the, oh, what's this room called? Reactor? Something like that? And finds Space Jump. That is a hefty reward for sure. Skipping the top of wreck ship was not the play this time. Although that's not strictly a necessary item, but it certainly helps alleviate much of the tricks needed. I think that is that go mode for Idlechild? 50 supers, charge beam, ice beam. Got bombs for worst room in the game, enough ammo with charge for Mother Brain. I think that puts Idlechild in go mode. Oh, Varia, of course, yes. What am I talking about? Still plenty of heated rooms to get through. And Idlechild finds an E-tank at the Sky Missiles location. Ah, Putzku is checking the back of Gauntlet now, and we'll see the bad news. That is indeed where Gravity Suit is. Music restarted Putzku's feed and got that squared away for us. Thank you for that. Idlechild showing off how Space Jump makes this room extremely easy to just jump over all the spikes. The bowling room here. Putzku taking a save of the ship, or I'm not sure if they saved, taking a refill or at the very least at the ship before attempting Gauntlet here. Speed booster, so is perfectly able to check and acquire whatever is hidden back here at the whatever this location is called past this power bomb. Tries to avoid the power bomb by jumping over it, but gets it anyway. Could have morph-balled under it if Idlechild didn't want it. Putzku's having a bit of a hard time getting this bomb jump started. And it's just super missiles at this back location here in the wreck ship. There, it looks like Putzku's got the bomb jump working now. Oh, couldn't quite finish it. That's rough. I'm sure we've all had those days trying to get a bomb jump going, and it just doesn't always work. The timing can be tricky sometimes. But but it is one of the tricks that SMRAT seeds will require on occasion. This happens to be one of those occasions. Yeah, Energetic, that's a good point. It does look like he's going for the double bomb jump, when I think the single IBJ is a lot easier. But the double bomb jump being a trick where you lay and bounce off of 2 bombs at a time to get extra height quicker. It is a faster way to gain height with a bomb jump, but the single bomb jump method is a lot easier. Idlechild is heading back down Red Tower. Presumably heading toward Meridia. Putzku has given up on that bomb jump, knowing that gravity is back there. I wonder what they intend to do with that. Perhaps they're going to attempt some suitless Meridia tricks. Well, to me anyway, that seems a lot harder than the bomb jump that they were attempting. Idlechild making good use of space jump to check the X-ray location over here. And it's just a power bomb pack. He says no to that, turns around. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Putzku goes for a suitless Meridia here. Without speed booster or high jump boots. I don't know how much of Meridia... Is it possible to still get all the way through it without either of those? Not sure. They don't have grapple beam either. Oh no, Putzku's going back into Norfair, okay. Idlechild, meanwhile, is getting into Meridia. Idlechild gets a really difficult short charge to check Main Street missiles here, and gets a grappling beam for a reward. Very nice. Supers at grab supers. Idlechild checks, but cannot acquire from this side, of course. Probably will be skipping it. Already has 55 supers. And looks like he's going to Mama Turtle next. Putzku is trying to check the ice beam location. Needs to get a mock ball here in this room. And did not quite pull it off. Super missiles at Mama Turtle. And the other item in the same room is an E-Tank. Yeah, as long as Putzku hasn't triggered the second door to fall, they could attempt a second mock ball past this first door and still get through the second one. But it's a bit tighter of a mock ball than the one that goes through the door. Idlechild is checking the beach items in Meridia. We've got a power bomb here. Meanwhile, Putzku is doing a hell run to see what is at Cathedral, and it is just an E-Tank. Taking a death, but they just saved recently, not far back. But the E-Tank does mean that Putzku could go into Cathedral, grab the E-Tank for a refill, and then continue trying to Hell Run. If they so choose. That is not easy. More ammo for idlechild. Decides, nope, I don't need any of that. Putzku running past the, oh, I'm sorry, no. Going for the E-Tank Cathedral item, knowing that it's there this time. Doing a Crystal Flash in order to have enough time to pick it up. That's a good tactic here. Manages to pick up that E-Tank. And continues on through Cathedral. That will probably be enough energy to get them to Bubble Mountain. Idlechild taking a save here probably means that he's going to check Sandpit. No, just more ammo, more ammo. Not checking Sandpit yet. Looks like he's going up to our friendly snake mini-boss instead. Yeah, Putzku had just enough energy to make it a Bubble Mountain here. So since speed was in logic, there could still technically be a Varia suit here. But it does not look like that was the case. Are there any other in-logic items here? I think they're all Varia locked, unfortunately for Putzku. They will probably not be finding Varia over here. Idlechild making quick work of the snake. Only ammo behind him. Pontoon, that is. And making his way over to the Precious Room item, as well as our boss for Meridia, Dragon. E-Tank in the Precious Room, which Idlechild will happily pick up before a boss fight. And he's got plenty of equipment and numerous ways to dispatch this boss at this point. Putzku does not have enough energy for this. Oh, but there is an E-Tank right in the first room here. That is good. No, Zero, we have not seen Varia yet. I believe it has to be in Meridia at this point. Idlechild is opening the Dragon fight with a Shine Spark, getting in a charge shot, and is going to finish it up with grapple kill. Nice quick combination. Oh, but missed the quick grapple. Wow, Putzku taking a death, but I believe they just saved here in Bubble Mountain. Dragon trolling Idlechild with a few hits before he finally does get the grapple kill here. Putzku taking them to death, not making it to the E-Tank in time this time. Dragon was hiding only a missile pack. Nothing too exciting. So we might be looking at Shaktool hiding the Varia suit, potentially. Of course, it could still be at either of the sandpit locations, left or right side. It could still be at Waterway. It could be... Oh, Zero's listing them out. Thank you. Yeah, it could still be at Plasma, Climb Supers, Shaktool. Yeah, I said that. Shaktool. My guess was that Idlechild was about to go check Plasma, but they went past the shortest route. Hello? Yeah, I think my headset is turning itself off after a period of time. I need to figure out a way to stop that from happening. Okay, but I was just saying I thought that Idlechild was going to go to Plasma first, but it looks like they're going to check Sandpit instead. Which I suppose makes sense. You can always go up the pipe through the center to check Plasma last. Right side Sandpit appears to only have ammo. Idlechild appears to be going to Plasma next, saving left side Sandpit for last, I suppose. Or Shaktool, potentially. Putzku got a save at Bubble Mountain with much more health this time. Looks like they're going up towards the speed check. Is also a hell run, but not quite as bad of one. These waivers not behaving very well, giving Putzku a hard time to climb Bubble Mountain, but they managed to do so. And Plasma for Idlechild only has a missile. So we're looking at either Shaktool having the suit, or left side Sandpits, or the Climb Supers. I do not believe Idlechild saved after defeating Dragon. He saved afterwards, so he has a bit of a jaunt back to that room. Certainly would have been better probably to save there so that after seeing these checks having nothing, that he could just reset to that location. But the stream just cut out for me for a second. Oh, it's back now. Putzku makes it to the speed location, which is sadly only a super missile. There's not a whole lot else that Putzku could find. We've seen most of the locations. You could come across Plasma or High Jump, though, of course. Either of those would be very welcome, I'm sure. And Putzku survived the hell run back, but needs to stop and refill at this enemy spawner here. And is opting for a Crystal Flash. Oh no, messes up the Crystal Flash by moving after laying the power bomb and takes another death. But at least Putzku knows what's at the other end of speed now and does not need to go back there again. Idlechild on the way to left Sandpit here. And if that does not have the suit, probably we'll go check Shaktool as a very last resort, because that is a long check. Those crumble blocks trolling idlechild. He has to make another loop around. Does look like he's going to use spring ball to jump off of them. Oh, but they troll him again. Yeah, if you manage not to walk onto the crumble blocks, but spring ball jump on instead, the spring ball will allow you to jump directly off the crumble blocks once before they crumble. And that is a much easier way to do this than what idlechild is attempting to do, which is a wall jump off of the left wall and a mid-air morph in time to morph up into that small morph ball tunnel above. But it looks like idlechild is going to make an intended use of the X-ray to check the item here, so he doesn't have to make that jump if it's not necessary. And indeed, it is just a missile pack. Oh, Benergetic points out that you also need high jump for the spring ball jump to get you up there. I did not realize that. I don't always think of these things, because you usually have high jump. Putzku has meanwhile made their way to Crocomire and is going to check the items that Crocomire is holding. Could still have a high jump or a plasma beam, but will not have the either suit that Putzku would is looking for. Those would be ideal, of course, but we know that gravity is a gauntlet, and that Varia suit this is a location that is heat locked, so Varia suit cannot be back here. Idlechild is going down to Norfair. Perhaps he's deciding to do heated runs to Ridley? I'm not sure. Oh, of course. The first location in Bubble Mountain could still be Varia suit. Putzku's seen that it isn't, but Idlechild is checking. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. It is, of course, just a power bomb. So Idlechild will probably be turning around and going to check. I think the only place left is, well, Shack Tool and the Climb Supers. So since Idlechild was adamant against checking Shack Tool, they'll probably be checking the Climb Supers as the next location. Oh yes, thank you, Phoenix Down. I keep forgetting Waterway. Waterway is also in logic at this point. And going to Waterway first would put you reasonably close to the Climb Supers as well, so that makes sense as a route here. Still skipping Shack Tool for the time being. Putzku, meanwhile, is attempting an infinite bomb jump up to the item, one of the 3 items that Crocomire is hiding. 4 items? 4 items. That is vanilla, a power bomb here. Let's see what it is. Yes, this is unfortunate that Putzku still has to IBJ here to check this item after doing all that extra work to skip IBJing earlier. If Putzku had found grapple in the meantime, or high jump, then they would be able to avoid this IBJ, but unfortunately, it's just not in the cards today. The seed really wants everyone to be doing IBJs everywhere. Idlechild gets a nice missile gate glitch here. Not missile gate, what do you call it? A gate glitch. To go the wrong direction through this room without wave beam. And is about to check the waterway item. Putzku bows out on that IBJ and decides to check the other two croc items here first. Of course, the item in the sine wave room here is just another power bomb pack, and idlechild finds an energy tank. There are only two locations left that could be holding our elusive Varia suit. It will either be at Shack Tool or at Climb Supers, two of the most remote and least frequently checked items in the game. In randomizer, at least. The seed started out really fast with both Ice Beam and Charge Beam, but is certainly trolling them with the Varia location. Putzku is trying to wall jump out of this room. Having some difficulty though. It looks like starting to get it. Yeah, if you push either of the aim up or aim down buttons or up or down in the middle of your wall jump, it takes you out of your spin jump and you can't wall jump any further. I think the first several tries there, Putzku was probably pressing up left by the look of it. But he got it. He did eventually get it there, and now has this super missile gate glitch trick to go in the back way to check this item. Gets it after a few tries, although the stream is locking up again. And after the stream hesitated and glitched, Putzku's at the bottom of that shaft again. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, that's interesting. I think the video went backwards there or something, because that looked like the same successful wall jump that I saw just a minute ago. Yeah, so something is having problems with Putzku's stream. Idlechild checks the climb supers, and it is just a missile pack. So we are going to see a Shack Tool check at long last. Seed has finally forced it on Idlechild. It is the last remaining location in logic. Unfortunate. Looks like Idlechild decided to reset, and the last save was at Norfair, so that's not too far away from Meridia. But Shack Tool is still a long check either way. Oh, Putzku's stream caught back up, and it looks like they're out of that area. I'm not sure what item they found. Is that a high jump? I can't quite tell. Maybe? Now, grapple would show up on the screen. Oh, the grapple location. Yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah, we've seen where the grapple beam was. It was... Ooh, Putzku taking a death in the acid in Crocomeyer's room. Yes, Wreck Ship Reserve and Waterway have both been checked. Oh, and Putzku's death puts him back at the save point in Bubble Mountain, meaning that Crocomire is no longer down for Putzku yet. But Putzku did see all the items behind Crocomire, so they know whether or not they need to go back and retrieve whatever the last item was. We did not see it while the stream was down. Gravity Suit was in the back of Gauntlet. It took both of our runners quite a while to find it because neither of them checked the back of Gauntlet on their first pass and did not come back for quite some time. And Idlechild is at the Shack Tool item and finally gets his Gravity Suit. Putzku is meanwhile making a hell run towards the wave location. And it is just a missile. I'm expecting a reset here after that. Yep, Putzku resets. No surprise there. Yeah, the seed has not been kind to Putzku, that is for sure. They do know where Gravity Suit is, however. After attempting the IBJ to the Gauntlet checks, and eventually giving up, Putzku did check the back of Gauntlet and see the Gravity Suit. But having failed that IBJ a number of times and giving up, Putzku decided that they prefer to do hell runs instead. Not that Varia could be down here, unfortunately. Alright, Idlechild is finally making his way down to Ridley. Has all of the necessary items now. Zero, Putzku did check the grapple location, but the stream was having problems, and Putzku's stream was frozen at the time, so we didn't actually see what was at the grapple location. And Putzku died afterwards, so we're still not entirely sure. And Idlechild's making a small detour to check the Croc Escape item, or not Croc Escape, the what is that item called? The item in the crumble shaft to the left of Crocomire, and it is just another trash tank. Yeah, the crumble block room. Thank you, Zero. Yeah, we have seen every reserve tank at this point. Not too surprising, given how much the seed has forced them to check every single location that was in logic in order to find Varia. Putzku looks like they're checking or practicing the mock ball needed to go get into the ice location. Of course, now that the second gate has dropped, Putzku does need to reset the room in order to pull that trick off. So this looks like a number of practice attempts. And no, Putzku's giving up. Probably heading back up to Criteria at this point, where they know Gravity Suit to be. I don't expect Idlechild to make any more checks in Norfair, certainly nothing out of the way. Maybe Powerbomb's a shame. But he has everything he needs. pirate in worst room in the game, trolling idlechild just a little bit. Not too bad though. And he makes it through just fine. Putzku is making the third red tower climb? Maybe just the second this game, I think. Putzku making good use of the ice beam to use intended strats for the red tower climb. Sorry, was I muted again? I need to find a way to tell these headphones not to turn themselves off. Oh, idlechild does check the power bombs of shame and in fact finds the wave beam, so that was worthwhile. Yeah, definitely worth it. That will speed up the mother brain fight a little bit. And it's just a nice beam to have in general. It's not really needed at this point. Yeah, shoutouts to Smokey the Bear for the wave beam there. Starting to worry that we wouldn't see it. High jump could be behind Ridley. Have we seen everything else? Well, okay, it could still also be at the, what the heck is that called? The E-Tank location just to the east of the Three Musketeers. I'm really spacing out on room names today. It could also be in the jail room. I'm sure there's a couple other places I'm forgetting. Oh yes, and it might have been high jump at the grapple beam location as well, where Putzku checked it, but we didn't see it, unfortunately, because of the stream problems at the time. And idlechild is starting their Ridley fights. Putzku back to working on the criteria infinite bomb jump to get up to combat and their gravity suit. Hopefully they'll get it this time. We're all rooting for you, Putzku. Idlechild getting Ridley down quite a lot with a bunch of supers and making short work of that boss. Yes, Ridley is down for idlechild. And idlechild does not even bother checking the Ridley item. Even though it still could be high jump or plasma. Either one of those would be nice for the escape and for Mother Brain, respectively. That's all the bosses down for idlechild. Just needs to go to Turian and finish out the game. Poor Putzku. I really feel for you there. I know it's very frustrating when you just can't pull off a trick. Some days it does not behave. I'm sure we've all been there at some point in our Super Metroid running careers. It's very frustrating, especially when you know you've been through and checked all the other locations. You know this is the one that the logic is requiring you to do. It just won't cooperate sometimes. Oh, and Putzku gets it. All right. Fantastic. Way to go. And Putzku does remember to turn Screw Attack back on to make this gauntlet far easier. That's good. It would be really sad to see a death after that. But with 6 E-Tanks and Screw Attack, it should not be too difficult to get through here. Gets grabbed by a yapping maw, but still not too much to be concerned about here. And Idlechild is making their way out of Lower Norfair. No problem dealing with this 3 Musketeers with Screw Attack. Putzku indeed makes quick work of Gauntlet. Well, Idlechild is just about done getting out of Norfair. Putzku had broken too many blocks for safety, he decides to reset the room. That's a good decision for sure. Get these crumble blocks just right and pick up... Ooh, that was scary. Almost fell through the last crumble blocks there. That would be real sad to see. But jumps back through just in time to pick up the gravity suit. Nice job, Putzku. That was a real clencher there, for sure. Would hate to have to see that IBJ again. Alright, Putzku has their gravity suit and can now make their way back down to Meridia. Speaking of which, Idlechild is exiting through Meridia towards Criteria here. Towards the surface, where he might decide to take a ship refill before Durian. Maybe not. Putzku is taking a ship refill before going back down. Oh yeah, Putzku isn't necessarily going for Meridia. They still have wreck ship to do as well. Yeah, that's a good point, Phoenix Down. Idlechild will almost certainly refill in order to have a lot of super missiles from Mother Brain. Could do it with this charge beam combo, but super missiles are quite a bit faster. Missing plasma beam still. With plasma beam, it wouldn't really matter either way. Putzku is attempting to do a wall jump on the right side here to get a direct ship. I am not sure if that's possible without high jump. Putzku might be facing another IBJ here to get into wreck ship, unfortunately. spring ball jump, I think, would be another possibility if Putzku decides against the IPJ here, which it appears that they are doing. Or a CWJ, or deciding to go to Meridia instead. Yeah, it looks like Putzku's going to Meridia. Idlechild, meanwhile, is nearly to Turian. Just going through the G4 room, and is now in Turian. While Putzku goes through the Hellway. We're going down to Red Tower. Idlechild having no problem with these Metroids. And Putzku breaking the tube here. Putzku does not have speed boosters, so if Putzku knows how to do an ice clip, they can still go and fight Dragon, but otherwise Putzku will be depending on looking for speed booster in Meridia. But I believe we saw it. Was it Red Ship? I don't think it was in Meridia. Idlechild not getting a baby skip. But that's okay, he faced right, which is the correct direction to face here. Saving frames. And we'll be taking the refill here before proceeding on to the Zebatites and Mother Brain. Putzku is collecting the crab supers, which are indeed supers. And Idlechild has all the supers they need, so is opting to just shoot the Zebbatite. Oh, no, I am wrong. Idlechild did a Zebbatite skip on the second Zebbatite rather than the first. That was interesting. Very nice trick, saving some ammo and having plenty for Mother Brain 1 here. And we'll have some left over for Mother Brain 2 as well. Putzku going to Mama Turtle and collecting energy tank in the wall. Idlechild is going through all of his super missile ammo before the catch-up phase of Mother Brain. Always an interesting thing to see. Many runners decide to save 15 super missiles so that they can power through the catch-up phase really quickly and use charge shots up until that point. Idlechild is using charge shots second. Also a valid strategy. Interesting to see who decides to do which one. Idlechild taking a couple of catch-up hits gets here. Probably has plenty of health. Can still afford to take one. Idlechild is activating a reserve tank and has just enough health to attempt a stand-up glitch. Looks like he will be doing that. Indeed. As long as he does not soft lock here, this should be his victory. And it looks like he avoided the first. It's going to be... Yeah, I don't think there's any way really for Putzku to catch up here anymore, because there's very little threat of death for Idlechild here, as long as he avoids this last soft lock. He did not save Venturian, so it is still possible that a soft lock could set him back quite a ways, but he saved, I think, at the ship. I'm not certain on that, but a soft lock would give Putzku quite a lot of room to catch up. And Idlechild gets through Mother Brain 2 with no soft lock and a well done stand-up glitch. Mother Brain 3 should be very quick, and I think that it's safe to say Idlechild probably has this in the bag at this point. Yeah, I don't know whether we'll see a forfeit from Putzku once Idlechild finishes. Putzku is probably aware at this point that they're well behind. And Idlechild is now doing his escape. And I will be right back. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break so that I will be back hopefully in time to see if Idlechild will come in for an interview. I will be right back. Ah, okay, I see. The stream had left the voice room. Ah, and we're joined by idlechild. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that. What'd you think of the seed?
I blame Zero. Somehow, I don't know if he rolled it or not. I still blame him.
uh, Someone mentioned who rolled it. I think it might have been Zero. Yeah, but boy, that was pretty brutal. Hiding
Yeah,
Varia at Shack Tool, checking absolutely everything else first. Sure makes for a long seed.
yeah, and yeah, I just kept falling down too. You counted all the ledges I fell down, and then there was that one check for the criteria super power bombs that I got all the way up there and fell off. And I want to say that I ended up making every logical check before finding the first suit, and then every logical check before finding the second suit. I think that's how that worked out.
Definitely the case for the second suit. The first one, I'm trying to remember. There might have been. You might be right.
Yeah, I'm not as sure on the first one either.
Yeah.
I don't think X-ray was in logic at that point.
Did you have space jump yet?
I don't think so.
Was... Yeah, okay, probably.
No, because I didn't even have a way to get over the moat. So I was like, I can't even
oh,
get
that's
to
right. You had to have
ship.
gravity and then IBJ direct ship. Yeah.
That would have been a pretty good seat for somebody who knows the CWJ and can handle a low health Pantoon, because there were, I think, space jump and speed over there. That was
Right. Yeah, that would have been good. As
so
long as they didn't bail
that,
on the attic as well.
Even though it took me so long to find those suits, I felt like, well, at least I found speed somewhat early, space jump somewhat early. Like, I felt like I could be doing okay.
Yeah, definitely. Putzku had a harder time because, so first off, neither of you checked the back of Gauntlet. You both zoomed right past it. So no one knew that gravity was there for a very long time. And then Putzku, once he did go back up to Crateria, tried the IBJ and was really struggling and having a hard time with the IBJ there, and eventually decided against it. And gave up on the IBJ, but then at that point went back and checked the back of Crateria and saw the gravity suit, but still decided to go back down and decided that they preferred to do Norfair Hell runs versus that IBJ. So they went and did a Hell run into. Oh, and you had like double the E tanks at that point too. I think Putzku was going into the Cathedral Hell run with like, what was it, 3 or 4 E tanks, something really low. And Cathedral was an E tank, so they got another E tank there, and then made it to Bubble Mountain with that. They checked speed, they checked wave, Bubble Mountain itself, of course, checked a bunch of stuff, even went and fought Crocomire and checked the items back there, and had a number of deaths because of having low health and it being hell runs and such. But then also on the way out of Crocomire, fell into the acid and died there. In addition, so lost the Crocomire items on the way out. But having checked all of that, tried to go check ice a few times and eventually gave up on that and went all the way back up to Crateria and try the IBJ again. There was just no way around doing IBJs in this seed.
Yeah, I think it was required.
Really forced.
I know it's.
It was absolutely required.
I know it's in logic required for about 3/8 of the seed, but I sometimes wonder, is that just like, well, you could do IBJ or you could just do another trick, but it really felt like this one. Getting up to, where was high jump boots? Does anybody know?
I do not, and I didn't see it in the credits either.
Because
I'm not sure.
Getting up to Gauntlet without IBJ is really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
I've done it once in practice and thought, nope, I'm not going to do this in runs. This is way
yeah,
that slow.
That wall jump is really tight and super hard to do.
Yep.
And without high jump boots.
Yeah, it's a series of them. Yeah, without high jump. With high jump, I think it's just one difficult high wall jump. That one's a little bit more doable.
I suspect high jump might have been in Lord Orfair. The Lord Orfair checked, but we saw just about everything else. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, we talk about SMRAT. Oh, it's accessible. You only need to know one trick IBJ. Like, it's really easy. It's not that easy. Like, it's easy. Becomes easy when you practice it enough. I
Yeah, but
remember just trying to
sometimes it
do.
just goes wrong. Sometimes you can't
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
timing
Sometimes it
down.
just goes wrong, and it is something you have to practice up to get good at. Some people get good at kind of the double bomb jump method, which is a lot faster, but I
Yeah.
just kind of stick with the reliable single
Yeah, the
bomb at a
single's
time
much
jump.
easier, I think, in my opinion, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's easy
Yeah.
after you practice it. It's hard if you think, oh, I just assume it's an easy trick. I'll figure it out. No, that's not.
Yeah,
something you need.
it definitely takes practice. And poor Putzku, even once they got that IBJ and got the gravity jump or gravity suit, the next step was another IBJ in
Yep.
moat.
Which at least that one you could do a gravity jump. I figured I was already getting a lot of IBJ practice in, so why not?
Yeah, can you gravity jump out of the water there? I wasn't sure about that.
Oh, would that be a problem leaving the water?
I
No?
suspect so, but I've never
Maybe it would
tried it,
be.
so I don't know.
Well, now I'm glad I didn't try it either. Come to think of it, I don't think I've practiced that. I just assumed, oh, I can
Oh.
do that gravity jump if I need to.
Oh, Zero says you can gravity jump there. Okay, I was not aware.
Yeah, I saw somebody doing the wall jump over there, but do you need high jump for that, or is that another one that's like really hard without high jump? That wall jump out of
So
the.
that wall jump, Putzku gave that a few tries too, and it really looked to me like it probably requires high jump boots.
Yeah, another one that's a lot. I saw somebody do it in a race I think earlier today, and
Yeah,
it looked, or maybe it was yesterday, but it looked pretty easy with high jump.
yeah, it's not bad at all with high jump boots there. High jump and gravity. My other thought was you can do a spring ball jump across the moat if you know how to do that, where you just bounce off the pillar and keep your speed. You both had spring ball for that.
When did we have spring ball? I know we got it.
Yeah, spring ball, where was that? Oh, it was in the pipe in Green Hill.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Zero confirming that just now. Yeah, so that you got spring ball pretty easy, early, and that was on my mind for crossing moat, but certainly that's not the easiest thing either. That was a heck of a seed.
Yeah.
Very brutal. I was a little bit funny how reluctant you were to go to Shack Tool.
Always
And
last
took
for Shack Tool.
all like you were really close to Shack Tool and still took every single other check first and
Yep.
had to go backtrack to it.
Refuse to go there until it's the only one left.
Yeah, well, it's hard to blame you. It's such a long check.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, that was great. Thank you for the race. Everyone, be sure to follow the runners. The links are in the Twitch chat here. Be sure to follow our restreamer, Music75, as well as our tracker Zero.
Yeah, thank you guys for setting all this up kind of short notice. Really appreciate it. It's really nice to be able to. Yeah, now I got something to go watch back. And
Yeah.
good entertainment for other people to see. It really brings attention to the SMRAT in general when you guys put on these races, and we really appreciate it as the runners for sure. Thank you, and thanks to the other teams that have commentated my other races so far.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great races, a lot of great commentary. This is actually the first time I've done commentary. I hope I did okay, but I had some headphone problems. They kept turning themselves off periodically.
That sounds a lot like J-Chalk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not alone in that category, so it's okay.
Yeah. I assume that wireless headphones are very eager to save battery, and since I had the race muted because I didn't want to hear myself echoing back, there's no sound coming through, so they probably just turn themselves off and there's no sound. Yeah. I'll try and figure out a way to stop that from happening next time. Oh, thank you, Music. He says I did great. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting Putzku in for an interview. It's haven't seen any indication.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There
So
might be
perhaps not.
pretty late for him.
Yeah. I don't have any clue what time zone he's in.
I just
Yeah.
know he's out of Europe, so it's got to be getting late over there.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. Oh, and SRA is hosting someone else now. Papa Schmo is currently doing runs. So I think